The Lutheran Church got started in 1517, and what was going on was the Catholic Church was the only church that was around at that time. Uh, there might have been like some small community churches, but the Catholic Church was like a big church, and most people were Catholic, pretty much. I don't even know if there was any other church that existed at the time. But anyway, what I'm saying is Catholic was like the church, and over in Germany, there was a lot of oppression going on. And how that was working was, how do I explain it? It has to do with money, but they said, okay, say your grandpa, well, they went off merits. They went off the merit system. And say your grandpa died and you weren't sure if he was going to like go to heaven or hell or purgatory or whatever. You weren't really sure what was going to happen to your grandpa. Say he did some bad things or something, or who knows what happened. So, what you could do, anybody could do this for anyone, you would buy merits with money. So, you'd take money and you'd go and you'd put it in this box in the church and, like, say a prayer or something, and then that's it. Well, what was going on is people were really poor and they were actually spending, like, okay, if someone just had enough money to for food, what they would do is they would actually, these poor people that really, they would take their money for their food and they would go put it in these boxes because they cared about their family and wanted their family to be okay, and they'd go put the money in these boxes and not eat for the day. So there was just a lot of oppression going on, and then when Martin Luther stood up and he was trying to reform the church. That's why it's called the Reformation, the Reformation or Reformation, the Great Reformation. And anyway, he just came out with a lot of things that talked about different stuff and just had different views. But anyway, when he stood up, a lot of people also stood up against the Catholic Church and said, hey, he's right. And people got violent, and people were going around throwing rocks through the church windows, the Catholic Church windows, whatever, burning them down, destroying them because they were outraged about all this stuff going on. And they blamed that on Martin Luther and said it was his fault. And they also said that he was committing heresy, which is like lying and telling false lies about, about God and religion and stuff like that. And actually I think they were trying to kill him for his views because obviously, like, he had a lot of power behind what he was saying, and those religious leaders didn't want to lose their power, so they wanted him like dead. And heresy was also punishable by death. So if you committed heresy, you get tried to the court, the court, and it's like the church court. Back in the old days, the church was like the government. And so anyway, you get tried in the church court and they decide your fate. So but anyway, yeah, there's a little bit of history on it that happened in 1517, and interesting stuff, just so you know.